This is the Cubs POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Chicago Cubs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Cubs POSTCAST through the Locked On Cubs YouTube and audio channels. Joe George here with you on all social media platforms at Joe George Radio. The Cubs lose 6-2 to the Milwaukee Brewers. A result that honestly kind of felt inevitable before the game started. Jacob Misiorowski is on the mound. That dude's nasty as we see on a start basis by across Major League Baseball. The Cubs bullpen is depleted over the last couple days. Doubleheader, not getting length in your rotation. And the lineup just wasn't good in today's game. Again, not surprising because of how good the Miz is going to be. But we'll talk about all of that on the show today. Take your questions, your comments here in the chat as well. But we'll start off today with what you're talking about after this game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I think the biggest thing for Cubs fans today they're going to focus on is going to be the bullpen. Now, look, one run is not going to cut it, right? Like, that's the reality of it. We'll get to the offense here and the lineup, what we saw in this game. But the bullpen still feels like the story of this game. It starts off before the game. Phil Maton goes on the 15-day IL. No one's exactly upset with that. He hasn't been very good this season. This is the same injury that put him on the injured list earlier in this season. I think Cubs fans, like, all we can hope for is that the reason why he's been as bad as he's been this season is that he's dealing with something, and that maybe there's a small chance that in 2026 he can come back, be healthy, and be better. But today, not on the roster. And what happens in this game is ultimately just done with two guys. It's Ethan Roberts, it's Jayden Murray. Now, Ethan Roberts comes in first and second with nobody out, and he gets a line drive right to him. And he catches it, gets the throw to second base. It's not a great throw, but he gets there. They nearly get the triple play. So you're right there. Like, the Cubs are a foot away from being out of the inning and getting the triple play and going out of that, that inning there in the bottom of the sixth with still a 1-0 lead. And then Garrett Mitchell hit a 2-run home run, and the Cubs were down 2-1 before you know it. And before you knew it again, there was a walk and a triple, and the Cubs were down 3-1. It changed that fast in this game. You have an opportunity, a triple play in your grasp. You're not able to get it. Look, that's a high expectation to ask for a team to do. I'm not going to bang on Ethan Roberts for not making a great throw to second base and getting the triple play. It's just what happens after it. Like, Ethan Roberts hasn't been that good this year. And I think, unfortunately for this game, it's just kind of a throwaway game. Like, I hate to say, like, that's how Craig Counsell was forced to manage this because of what happened in the previous days versus the Mets with the amount of bullpen guys you had to use, how frequently you had to use them because of your starters. But it feels kind of throwaway. Or Ethan Roberts is coming in a critical situation. That's not a guy you want coming in right there. Again, he nearly gets out of it, but you don't trust him in a high leverage situation with a 1-0 lead. It's just, he's not that guy, Ethan Roberts. But it's kind of the way Craig Counsell has to manage the game today. And then Jayden Murray comes in, who is awful. I don't know how the Cubs get him off the roster, frankly. Like, maybe it's when Maton comes back in 15 days, but, like, that's a guy I don't want to see anymore this season. He's not good. He's not a good baseball player. Like, yes, the Brewers are a very, very good baseball team, but my gosh, like, throw out some competence occasionally in the bullpen. The Cubs don't have it. Like, this is where, like, I can't sit here and be like, this is Craig Counsell's fault. I'm not sure, like, how much of this is Jed Hoyer's fault because of all the guys that have been hurt. The truth is the Cubs couldn't hang today. The Brewers are the better baseball team. It's just the reality. Like, the Cubs are, if you remove, this might be cherry picking. I don't think it is. If you remove the 7 wins against the New York Mets this season, the Cubs are a below 500 baseball team. They're 37-38, I believe, now against the rest of Major League Baseball if you take the Mets off of their schedule. A team that just fired their manager, a team that just swept in a 4-game series. The bullpen just not good enough in this game. You needed them to be perfect. Again, asking a lot. I get that. But against the Brewers, if you give them any opportunity to strike, especially if you give them opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, like the Cubs, even Colin Rea did in today's game, eventually they're going to punish you. They are different than the Cubs for that reason. the Cubs can get lots of opportunities and lots of guys on base, and they don't make you pay often enough. The Brewers do, and we saw that transpire today with both Ethan Roberts and Jayden Murray on the mound as the Cubs lose 6-2. The positive from this game, there's a couple things. We'll hit on, the one positive before we get into the negative with the lineup, and we'll take a break and we'll talk about Colin Rea and take some of your questions and comments. Seiya Suzuki, he goes deep against Misiorowski, which is, impressive because he is now the only player, which this stat is crazy and shows you how good Miz is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the Brewers are not a great baseball team. They are a great baseball team. I think the craziest thing that said it was on the Apple TV broadcast tonight was that the Brewers were not going to run away with this division. Like, I don't know what baseball this guy's watching in the Central. They're going to smoke this thing. And the Cubs, if they're going to make the playoffs, are going to have to be a wild card team this year. That's just the reality. But Seiya Suzuki, the only player in Major League Baseball with multiple home runs off of Jacob Misiorowski, if you include the regular season. Got the one last year, got the one tonight. That's an absurd stat. It's another thing that shows how good he was. He had 55 pitches today, above 100 miles per hour. He threw 105.5 against PCA. Again, you have to improve. It's versus this quality of pitching. If you're going to have a chance in the postseason, if you get the Brewers, you're going to get Miz and all these guys. Basically, you're going to see this weekend, honestly. If you were to get the Dodgers in the postseason, you're going to get Shohei. Like, you have to level up against this elite pitching. And the Cubs, that's one thing with their lineup this year. Even when there's been good, a lot of times they haven't really had that elite success versus good pitchers. Like Christopher Sanchez is probably the only guy, but he turned around and has been arguably very closely the best pitcher in Major League Baseball this year. It's a 1A, 1B, him and Miz, Miz slightly above him, but the Cubs lineup just not able to get it done today. Not really a ton of opportunities for the Cubs lineup in this game. The only one that you really have against Miz is there in, the top of the sixth inning before you give away the 1-0 lead. It's, you have 2 outs in the inning. Bregman single, Bush walks, Suzuki walks. You have bases loaded with 2 outs. Ian Happ comes up and just, it's just straight gas past him. He strikes out. The inning's over. At least when the game's within relative reach. They had an opportunity there to score a couple runs in the top of the 8th after the walk from PCA and Bregman. They ended up scoring a run there on the Seiya Suzuki sac fly that made it 5-2. But that's pretty much it. I have no notes as I go through my game notes here until the 5th inning, which is the Cubs, I believe, first hit of the game when Suzuki went deep. That opportunity there in the 6th and the 8th. Not a lot of opportunities to win a baseball game like today. So we'll take a break. We'll talk about the other things we saw from this game. Colin Rea, it can't be ignored with how excellent he was getting out of dangerous situations in this one. A great start from him. It's a shame the Cubs lineup could not give him any kind of support. We'll talk about that. We'll take your questions, your comments here in the chat. We'll do that next here on the Locked on Cubs postcast. Today's show is brought to you by Cash App. The Cash App card lets you personalize your card design. Mine would probably have something sports related on it, whether it's a team logo inspired design, a basketball, baseball, something that just reflects what I'm passionate about. Cool perk that you have with Cash App, being able to get a card customized to you. And Cash App does more than you think when it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money. Cash App just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. So now when you spend at least $500 a month with the Cash App card, you earn green status, which unlocks benefits like $200 of free overdraft coverage. So if you overdraft unexpectedly, there's no hidden fees. You can unlock higher borrow limits. You can customize personalized cashback offers every Friday at places you love to shop. So turn every spending into status with Cash App Green. Download the Cash App today or visit Cash App or cash.app to learn more about this and other financial benefits. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. The world's biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every match feels like it has potential for a memorable moment. One goal can completely change the energy of a game, shift momentum, and alter the outcome in an instant. That's what makes tournament soccer so exciting, from the opening whistle to the final kick. And now FanDuel is giving fans another reason to stay locked into every match with every goal plays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. We've seen some games with a ton of goals. We saw one today with France just scoring left and right. You could be getting bonus bets left and right in that game. So turn on your token, go to FanDuel, and start using that right now. It's the best soccer games in the world are happening on a daily basis right in front of us. I love this tournament so far. So from opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com right now to get started. And finally, today's show is brought to you by HIMS. ED is way more common than most guys think, and millions of men deal with it at some point. HIMS offers a simple, convenient way to take care of your health by connecting you with licensed healthcare providers online and giving you access to personalized treatment options from the comfort of home. No awkward appointments, no pharmacy lines, just a straightforward process designed to make getting care easier. Taking care of yourself shouldn't feel complicated, and HIMS makes the process private and easy to navigate. It's healthcare built around your schedule and comfort. Between work, family, everything going on in your world, finding time for appointments can be tough. So having that access to licensed providers online means you can prioritize your health without having to rearrange your entire day. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/lockedonmlb. That's hims.com/lockedonmlb for your free online visit. hims.com/lockedonmlb. Prescription required. See website for details and important safety information. Sildenafil is the generic version of Viagra. Viagra is a registered trademark of Viatris Specialty LLC. HIMS is not affiliated with or endorsed by Viatris. Okay, so Colin Rea. Let's talk about Colin Rea for this game. A lot of really good from him. You know, it was in serious danger throughout early on in this game, where it felt like the Brewers were going to blow this thing wide open and it was going to be an ugly game. But he battled really impressively. That's the one positive out of this game, is the Cubs deal with all these injuries and they try to make the wild card, because, again, that's what I think the expectations are for this team. It's not a division title. But you look at the bottom of the first. It goes single, infield, single, bunt. So it's second and third with one out. Colin Rea gets a strikeout, then walks a guy, so you have bases loaded, and then gets the ground out to end the inning. So major chance for damage in the bottom of the first. He's able to escape that in the bottom of the second. Pratt hits a double, advances to third with a ground out. So you have runner on third with two outs. Christian Yelich grounds out, and the inning's over. So that's 2 innings so far. And then in the bottom of the fifth, again, you've got a single, a stolen base, and the guy advances to third with you have no outs. So runner on third base, no outs. Cubs are up 1-0 here. But this is before the bullpen collapses. And Colin Rea goes strikeout, easy pop-up to, I think it was to Nico Horner, and then a strikeout to end the inning. So of the bad that was the bullpen and the lineup in this game, Colin Rea is the bright spot, is that you have the opportunity to look at this team and see, you know, have the chance to compete with the Brewers. Like, he did everything in his power to keep the Cubs in this game. It could have been smoked early for the Brewers. They could have blown this thing wide open, but the Cubs just couldn't take advantage because they never had those opportunities, and they couldn't get to Misiorowski, and they ended up losing this game 6-2. So I had to be a super Debbie Downer, but this is kind of what I expected tonight. I didn't expect it to be that good. Especially when you're throwing out Roberts and Murray, you're not going to have success. The lineup, yes, fun 4 games for Dansby Swanson and everyone versus the Mets, but the Mets are trash. It's this series and the next series are so important for the Cubs. You cannot go, I don't think you can go 2-4. I think you have to find a way to go 500 here between the Brewers and the Padres. Or it's not just the Brewers that you're going to be looking up at and the division standings. You're also going to be looking up at the wild card, because this is an incredibly tight race in the wild card right now. And it feels like if you have a 1-5 stretch here against a divisional opponent and then a wild card team, you're just, again, you're digging yourself a hole that how many times can the Cubs get out of this thing? And they have to find a way to go at least 3-3 over this trip. So it's not fun today. 0-4 with runners in scoring position. It's such a small number. Like they just didn't get guys on base. Like they didn't get enough guys on base to even have chances to score because they got absolutely dominated by the Miz, who again he's incredible. And this division's tough with pitching. I wish it was tough because the Cubs had pitchers like this. Like I have such a sense of jealousy when I watch the Pirates and the Brewers pitching right now because it is on a different planet than the Chicago Cubs organization. Like everybody just throwing straight gas. They can locate it. And then the Cubs just like a bunch of guys throwing the low 90s who can't stay healthy. It's incredibly frustrating. But the Cubs lose this game. We'll see if they can bounce back tomorrow. We'll see David Peterson will make his debut for the Cubs at some point this weekend. Council may have already announced that at this point as we're live here on a post-game show. But he'll make his debut for the Cubs. I think that's a good acquisition for the Cubs because he is a good ground ball pitcher. But that'll do it for us tonight. Back with you guys tomorrow when the Cubs will at least be back on regular television as well. And I don't have to keep paying for Apple TV until the next time the Cubs are on it. But that'll do it for us tonight. Talk to you guys tomorrow.